Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Yuri Yani. Study number ID 2103050031. Program study English Language Education. Well, I will explain the summary of the journal. Entitled is The Correlation Between Student Preference and English Achievement in Hybrid Learning During COVID-19 Pandemic. Introduction. In March 2020, Circular Letter Number 4 was issued by the Ministry of Education and Culture of Indonesia concurring to the application of teaching and learning process that was conducted through fully online learning to prevent the massive contagion of COVID-19. Furthermore, in mid-2021, since the COVID-19 pandemic cases had decreased significantly, the government changed the policy and the regulation and education system in Indonesia from fully online learning to limit face-to-face classroom and online learning to known as hybrid learning. In conclusion, hybrid learning is effective in improving student achievement, participation, and motivation. It is suggested to be implemented in the teaching and learning activity not only in normal conditions, but also during the pandemic. This method was taken into a surrogate why in the meeting the student needs who had studied at campus in limited face-to-face learning and also from home via online learning since the pandemic is still exists in this world. Among previous researches, most of the studies were carried out to investigate the student perception, attitude, experience, and the efficacy of hybrid learning before or during the pandemic. Okay, the next material is method. This study was quantitative, correlational research. The total of population of this study were 310 students who took English 3 courses from the university and 3 departments that had conducted hybrid learning during new normal policy in Pekanbaru, Riau. This study used quantitative data to investigate the correlation between student preference and their English outcome, and at the end of the semester this study was conducted to investigate the correlation between university student preference and their English achievement in hybrid learning amid COVID-19 pandemic based on following design. Finding and discussion. They state that there was the possibility of student experience in hybrid learning could influence their speaking ability due to the using two modes method, namely online and offline learning. Addition, the study result of Tamrit et 2022 report that hybrid learning could enhance to the student learning outcome, independence, and creativity. In other words, hybrid learning can enhance the learning quality, especially amid COVID-19 pandemic, and it also matches the demand of learning in Industrial Revolution era 4.0. The finding revealed that most of the students preferred to learn English through hybrid learning. It was identified from the mean score of each item were in high category, and it has significant relationship to the result of the student assignment test science. The mean score was categorized in the good level. After analyzing both of the variables by using percent, correlation, confidence, and regression analysis, it was obtained that correlation coefficient was with p-value. This result revealed that there was a positive and strong correlation between student preference and their English achievement in hybrid learning with the influence value. This study concludes that hybrid learning was more applicable in learning English for university students during COVID-19 pandemic, and the research assumed that the student preference in hybrid learning could influence their English achievement. This finding was congruent with several findings of the related previous studies. First, a research done by Annabelle et al. Concluded that the student preference to learn English through hybrid learning, and this was significant effect to their speaking achievement during the pandemic. Okay, the last material is conclusion. This study investigates the correlation between university student preference and their English achievement in hybrid learning. The findings of this study revealed that there was a positive correlation between student preference on their English achievement in hybrid learning with p-value, and the correlation confidence was this result was categorized as a high or strong correlation. In addition, regarding to the result of regression analysis, squares, which mean the influence of university student preference to student English achievement was. In conclusion, there was a strong correlation between student preference in hybrid learning and their English achievement COVID-19 pandemic. It is recommended for the next research to explore future studies related to this field since there are still limited studies discussing about hybrid learning in new normal contexts. Well, that's all my explanation. Thank you for watching. In the end, I appreciate. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.